There are few things more intriguing to humans than tragedy and fate. More specifically, the tragedy of what could have been. In boxing, no tale captures these themes more powerfully than that of Salvador Sanchez. Our story begins here, in Santiago Tianguistenco, 35 miles south of Mexico City. Born on the 26th of January, 1959, with 2 brothers and 2 sisters, Sanchez's life was, for a time, like any other. In 1972, at the young age of 13, Salvador discovered boxing. He fell in love with the sport, which in turn fell in love with him. From early on, it was made apparent that the young boy was not your average fighter. His family was initially against him fighting, but soon came to accept the career he had chosen for himself. His mother would tape a Christian cross made out of a palm branch for every one of his 46 fights. Tall and wiry, standing 5 foot 8 inches at just 118 pounds, Sanchez was no specimen, yet he fought with an unusual fluidity. A pugilist who could attack and defend from any position. In his 10th bout, at just 17 years of age, Sanchez can be seen effortlessly outmaneuvering his opponent. His fluid movements and entries becoming tight and crisp punches. Even at this young age, Salvador Sanchez made fighting seem as simple as breathing oxygen. Not that he seemed to breathe oxygen. He would run 8 to 10 miles a day up in the mountains in 90-degree heat, developing a cardiovascular system that would have him nicknamed Señor Pulmons, Mr. Lungs. 1 year later, he would suffer his first and only loss against Antonio Basara while looking to claim the Mexican bantamweight title. For any boxer to go through a first loss like that, after finally getting to a title shot with nothing to suggest they could lose, it would be devastating. But where a modern fighter would take a year off and visit 10 sports psychologists, a 17-year-old Sanchez decided to move up a weight class and fight 2 times in the 3 months following the bout. Just 3 years after that first defeat, and with a total of 35 fights, the Mexican fighter was preparing to fight the fan-friendly Danny Lopez for the WBC featherweight title. A fight he would go on to win by a 13th round TKO. It was around this time that Salvador began to tell his friends and family a strange premonition, one of dying before reaching old age, with the young champion even planning out the details of his own funeral. Despite odd premonitions, his career was booming. A rematch against Lopez, this time a 14th round TKO.
See why. No defense.
And a series of other impressive title defenses.
Trying to cover. Those eyes now so terribly vulnerable.
Set up a huge collision with Wilfredo Gomez, one of the greatest featherweights of all time. Nicknamed Bazooka, Gomez entered the bout with 32 wins, no losses, all by knockout. As you could imagine, with a resume like that, the two men went to war.
It's going to be very interesting. But he's still fighting. That shows you're a champion. But he's very confident. Because he ain't good yet from first place. Just got hit. A real good right hand gets through that Sanchez's side.
With an 8th round TKO, the 22-year-old Sanchez emerged from the firefight victorious, retaining his title. The last fight of Salvador Sanchez's career would take place on the 21st of July, 1982. By now, a young master of sport, he danced in circles and boxed like a ballerina, a symphony of movement. For Sanchez, there was no need for broken rhythm to catch his opponent. He had a rhythm all his own. Defeating Nelson by a 15th round TKO. 3 weeks later, Salvador Sanchez was dead. Crashing his Porsche 928 on the Querétaro highway in the early hours of the morning, he died on impact. By age 23, he had lived the lifetime of 2 men, and yet he still had so much more to give. A comet passes quickly. Enjoy the beauty of what is, while it is. If you enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing to our Patreon, where you can enjoy early access videos and decide which fighter we cover next.